Alright, so we're going to start a new project. This is what it's going to look like at the end. It's not very much, but it'll be all set up and ready to go. It does take quite a while to set up a new project, and I just wanted to say you don't have to go through this whole video, because in the next video we'll save it all to GitHub, and I'll show you in the video after that how to do it much quicker so you don't have to do all the configuring. But if you want to go through all the tedious configuring and learn what's going on under the hood and how to set it up and everything, then please feel free to follow this video, or you can follow along if you just are a nerd. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to decide where you're going to put your project. So I always like to put it right in my user folder. So C drive users, and then this is my username, new folder. I'll just call it programming. And then if you open up Visual Studio Code, if you press Control tilde, you can also go View Terminal. It's the same, Control tilde. It'll bring up this terminal. So you CD into your new folder. And we'll install Laravel first. We're going to run a bunch of commands here. This is the command to install Laravel. And this last thing here, VILT stack, that's the project name. So this one you can change. Everything else has to be the same here. So you put in your own project name. We can leave it that just for testing it out. And this takes a while. Alright, and we're done. Now we can go and just take a look at it. There's our new folder, VILT stack, and there's all kinds of files here. There's 8,629 files, 54 megabytes, so it's installed a lot of files for our project. Let's go back to the terminal, and this is a step I always forget. CD. We're going to CD into that folder and install everything else. First thing we'll install is Vue. This takes a little while again. Okay. So now we're just going to configure Vue. We'll close this up for a minute. Close this welcome thing. File, open folder, and we'll open up our new project, programming, VILT stack. And there's all of our files again. This time we want to go to vite.config.js. We're going to import Vue. JS plugin.vue, and then I'm just going to paste in the next bit of code here. All these settings, save, and then close that. We're going to run PHP artisan serve. We can control click on this. And there we go. Laravel is up and running. We've installed it properly. Okay. We're going to open up another terminal window. So now we're going to run the front-end server because we just installed Vue. So this will be npm run dev, and we'll do that every time we work on the project too. This has to be running all the time. We can control click on this. And because this is working, we know that Vue is installed, so yay. And then we can close this. We never use this one. We only ever use this one. So now we'll open up another terminal window because we have to leave PHP artisan serve and npm run dev running. So we'll open up another one and we'll install Inertia. All right, Inertia is installed. We have to set up Inertia's middleware now. So PHP artisan, Inertia middleware, enter. And that will have put a new file on here. It goes app, HTTP, middleware. So just put that new file here. And we have to register that file in Bootstrap app.php. We're going to import that new file right there and set up the middleware. Just going to paste this in, save it, and we can close that. So if you see, we just required Inertia that works with Laravel. Now we're going to install Inertia that works with Vue, and we've set it to be a certain version here. Press enter. Now we'll set up Inertia or Vue to communicate with Inertia. So we'll go to resources, JS, app.js. I'm just going to paste it all in here. There's quite a bit of configuring there. Save that. And all this code is on my GitHub page. I'll put a link for it. Okay, so now we're going to fix up this page, this landing page. If you use just Laravel, they use something called Blade, but we've put Vue on top of it, so we're just going to set up Blade to work with Vue. So we're going to rename this. Rename, like right now, I mean, I'll just show you. See, it's returning the Vue welcome. We're going to change that to app.blade.php, and it's going to break. It's going to be broken. View welcome not found. We'll fix that. Okay, so in app.blade.php, we're just going to, this is look how giant this file is. I'll just close that down right now. You never want to close that because it'll stop all the servers. I'm just going to delete all this and paste in our new code, which is going to work with Inertia and Vue. Save it, and we'll go back to our route, and instead of return Vue welcome, we're going to say return Inertia home. And now we have a blank page. And that's because there's no code here. It all just refers to Inertia, but nothing's connected to it yet. It's referring to a file called home, and Inertia always defaults to JS and a folder called pages. We don't have this folder yet, so we'll make the new folder right in JS called pages, and then we'll create this home file, home.vue. And it doesn't like that, so it never likes it. See, it says, oh, you couldn't see that, but it always says you need a template in there, so it'll always give that message whenever you create a new file, another Vue file. And then in here we'll type homepage. There it is, homepage. All right, we're all connected, yay. We can close everything except for home. All right, now we're going to set up Docker. Docker is something used for the database, and it connects Laravel to the database. It's just used for development, so when you're building stuff on your computer. And we need to create a new file right in the root of our project. Right in the root of our project, so just new file. It's going to be called Docker compose.yaml, YML. And I'll just paste it all in. Save it. Okay, now we'll bring up our terminal again. And type in Docker. I don't know why it does that. Docker compose up, enter. And it's doing all kinds of stuff. Now we can open up Docker. Come on, Docker. If it doesn't work, if you go up here, you can click on it here. Then it will start. There we go. We see VILT stack. So now we have a connection between Laravel and our database. And just minimize this and close out of the Docker Compose up. Terminal window. I already closed mine. Okay, so now we're going to go see our database. And it's running at localhost 8080. So server name is MySQL. Username is root. Password is root. Login. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a database. Just call it VILT stack. And this one you have to set, it's near the bottom. It's apparently the best one for our setup. UTF-8 MB4 General CI. Press save. All right, now we have to go back to Visual Studio Code, go to config database.php. To change this to the one we just set it to, so it's okay. And we're going to open up .env. We're going to change the database variables. Press Control/ to get rid of the line comments. Connection is MySQL. This is good. This is good. Database name, we just called it VILT stack. Username is root. Password is root. So save it. And you can close it. Okay, and now we're getting an error. A table not found. You might have forgotten to run your database migration. So we have to go and do PHP artisan migrate. All right, now we can refresh this and we're back to no error. And if we refresh this, we'll see a bunch of tables. It just, when we did PHP artisan migrate, that puts all the tables and modifies all the tables in our database. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the styling for the web page. We're going to set up plain CSS and Tailwind. So first we'll do the CSS. And so we'll go to CSS, app.css. And we'll just put in something random like body, background color, blue, save. We should see this have this really horrible or this really bright blue color, but it's not there. It's not connecting it. So we're going to go back to app.js. So JavaScript, app.js, and we're going to import that CSS page. Import CSS app.css. Save it. There we go. It's connecting. Let's go and clear that out. But this is where we're going to put all of our CSS instructions and links to other CSS files. And our Tailwind connections too. So now we'll install Tailwind, and which means we have to go back to our terminal. We're going to install Tailwind 3.4.4. So finish. All right, that's done. And then we also have to initialize Tailwind. It'll put a file in our project. So created this file. Now we just have to configure it a bit. So we'll go to tailwind.config.js. Add the content there. Save that. Close it. And we're going to go back to our app.css file and paste in the Tailwind commands. This is going to import all of the Tailwind CSS, so save that. And if we refresh it, we should see a change in the font. Oh yeah, we have to restart the development server, so Control-C. Run it again. There we go. It's a new font. I don't know if you remembered last time. It was Times New Roman, and now it's got the new default Tailwind font. I'll make sure that it's connecting. I'll add some Tailwind classes here. Let's see. Class equals text to Excel, font, semi-bold, text, red. Let's make it 800 and save it. We should see the text change. And it's red too. There we go. All right, so Tailwind is set up and working, and really everything's working now. So our whole project is completely set up and we're ready to build stuff. So this video was pretty long. There was a lot of configuring, a lot of setting up, a lot of copying and pasting code. There is a way to do much faster. Every time you set up a new project, it's exactly the same. So I've set it up so that you can just run all the commands in the command line and then copy and paste the whole project in, and it only takes like 5 minutes to set up a whole project. And that'll be a couple videos from now. First, we're going to push it all to GitHub, and that way we'll be able to just download it every time we want to start a new project.